Good day, Tragic here, and welcome back to Too Many Bones. This is we're at day 5, so we're going to start hitting 20-point enemies, right? Nasty, and the first 20-point enemy is this sucker. Ooh, 8. Attacks with 5 dice. So we've got to start getting serious. Now, there was another mistake I did last turn. I have the upgrading wrong. So basically what is happening with upgrading is you can freely upgrade your skills by just placing dice there, or your health, or your dexterity. But if you want to upgrade your attack, you need to roll all your attack dice. So you'd roll both your dice, and you need to get no bones on any of your dice. So the more attack you have, the less likely to upgrade your attack is going to be. So that would be an upgrade, and a successful upgrade. If you do roll a bone though, you don't lose the skill point. You're allowed to then use that skill point somewhere else, which is a little bit more forgiving than I thought. So there was 2 little errors on that. So I rolled a single dice last turn for her and failed the upgrade. So I'm going to instead upgrade her. Well, let's try for her help. Try for her defense, and that's a pass. What's she using for numbers? This. Okay. So just to recap, when you're upgrading defense or attack, you have to roll. Now that she has 2 defense, I would actually need to roll 2 defense die to try and upgrade that. Another pass. Okay. Next is her dexterity. So we're just going to go straight into the next turn. Flippity-doo. We've already moved the clock to 5. Unsteady ground. Nothing tops a tough day of hack and slash like a smoky campfire and a warm meal, or one of Patch's stims, or a bottle of Tantra's homemade grog. It's just nice to be together, actually. Have all our limbs we've started with and still be pressing forward. It's a little strange though, as it seems the longer we lie by the fire, the taller everything is becoming. Wait a minute. Where's our gear going? The earth is swallowing our pots and pans. Everything's disappearing before our eyes. It's quicksand. Oh my god. Another non-battle card. This is what that symbol in the top corner means. On both of these, neither of these produce a battle. Tie these ropes to arrows. Find a tree and let them fly. Perform a modified dex check. Place a defense die, tree targets, on each of the baddie range positions. Place an attack die, arrows, on each of the gearlock range positions. Choose one gearlock to literally flick each... Oh no. I'll do this one for this playthrough, but I'm going to remove this card from further if I ever play this again in Tabletop Simulator, and you'll see why in a sec. So basically we just need to place an attack die on each of these, and we need to place the tree symbol, which is somewhere on one of these things. There it is, on all these dice. And then we just need to flick them. The problem is the flicking in Tabletop Simulator is incredibly good. So this is basically just a free thing. As this is sort of a learning game for me, I'm just going to soldier on. So there's a flick option. And what you can do, people have made quite good mods with, where you're kind of like mini golf, where you've got to bounce around corners. But the problem is it's very accurate. So I reckon if I do about 4, bam. Yeah, so now that I've worked out that 4 is fine, 4.1 I'm using actually, I'll be able to hit every single one of these without any issue. Book. So that's basically just free. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll actually remove that card from the game for future encounters. But like I said, this is just a learning game, so we're going to continue on. We get a advancement in the corner, and we also get a skill point. Excellent. So what are we doing here? We have dexterity 4, we've got 3 attack. I'm going to roll his attack die. Blam, and that is a pass. You know, just I know I've already done that, but I think I'm going to take that off because I don't think that's a very good idea, because he's got 3 dice and he's got a defense dice, which we want to basically keep a defense dice up there. We haven't really found any yet, but there's a type of enemy that has a function called mischief, which removes dice from the active slots. So that can actually make him delete his rage, which is kind of vital to the way he works. So you kind of want to always have the defense die up there, which means you basically want to be rolling that every turn because he's going to get it knocked out. So we've got 4 dice to roll every single turn. Plus we have this thing here. So I think we're going to actually increase his dexterity. No, that seems a waste. I think I will just increase his... Let's get this like a wolf thing. It's this one, I believe. Maybe I should increase his dexterity. No, I'm going to definitely do that instead. And this dude here, I think we're going to look into more traps. So we've already got Woven Snare, which I really like. Hidden Rut is interesting, but it's only got 2 out of 6 chance of hitting a 20-point baddie, and we're going to have a lot of 20-point baddies now. So it's still pretty good. Basically, it stuns them for 1 turn, if I'm correct. Where is it? Triggered by the point value or less baddie, it cannot move any further this turn. So I think it does. Is it actually written Hidden Rut? It just says the baddie stops moving. It doesn't actually affect its attack. So you can't use Hidden Rut. I guess that means that you place Hidden Rut in these sections here. So if I have a monster here, right? A melee monster, because range don't move. Which means that, and then I don't have anybody here. I don't have anybody in those 3 slots. Right? He would move onto here and he would stop, which would delay his attack for a whole turn. The problem is with 4 people, it's going to be very hard to have 3 spare areas, because if he moves into here, even if he stops, he'll be able to attack there and there and there. So this would probably be best used on the corners. So if he moved in here, he wouldn't be able to go there or there. Still, I think Hidden Rut works probably a lot better when you're not playing with 4 people. It might combo pretty well with Brute Buster though. Brute Buster, we actually have that already. That's a type of arrow shot that can push people around. The problem is you can't really control the direction it's going to push. But, you know, if you had a melee guy, you put Hidden Rut behind him and then you push him back by rolling a 1, 4, 5, or 6. So that's actually a pretty good chance to get that combo to work, because then you'll push him to the back of the lane, and then he'll lose a turn, and then you might even have the opportunity to move your characters so it'll take him another turn to get to you. So that actually might combo pretty well that way. Still. So we've got Woven Snare, which is fantastic. It's got a 2 in 6 chance of reducing their attack by 2. What does Rusted Spikes do? It's sort of like a bear trap. True Damage. Move unit to an adjacent lane of the trap position if open. Interesting. Yeah, let's get that. So that's Rusted Spike. That's just free damage at the start of the round. Bam. And what are you going to do for your upgrade? We now have our Dexterity. That's what I was going to upgrade. So she's using these purple dice, isn't she? You blam. And this dude, I think I'm gonna upgrade to Spiderbot 2, which is the next level bot. I now have 2 bots, which means signal air. That's air horn. There's a signal somewhere. What is it called? Sensormatic. The Sensormatic we can now use because we can assign Spiderbot 1 to our lock slot with the Sensormatic, and he can start doing automatic scouting for us. Now, I have been playing Tink a little bit wrong as well. Basically, anytime you place a die on the mat, it's never rolled. And the values, for the most part, unless they're tip counters like body count and axe throwing over here, it doesn't matter. So you actually, at the beginning of every combat, you need to roll your build die. Bam, so I just rolled my build die, and then whatever it lands on, you can then place. And once it's placed, you can then rotate the die around to, you know, match wherever you want it to match. And then you have to use a dexterity point to re-roll that. Oops. So what that is now doesn't matter. So what I've been doing is I've been rolling it at the end of the turn and placing it on the mat, which is almost the same thing, you know, like it doesn't make any functional difference, except you can plan your initial placement a little better because you definitely know what powers you're going to have. So you got to roll this after you place your unit is the point. So I'm going to start doing that now. It's going to make him a little bit harder to use. So I think we're going to actually increase his dexterity so he have the ability to re-roll. Oh wait, no, I just got Spiderbot 2. Yeah, so next is we're going to increase his dexterity so we have the ability to re-roll this, because you get a free roll at the start of the battle, and then it. Oh, see that's the exact roll I want. So then I can do that and activate both of these guys. But next we get build 2, which is really, really cool. Build 2, see how it's got these sort of black swaths? That means it has whole corners. So this one here, right, is, so if I had this one in the dice, this dice here is saying that all of these are active from here to here, because it's got the arrows, but it's also, you know, got the little black drawn in line. So that is the next thing, is to upgrade our build dice. But I think before that, we're going to look at his dexterity. But now that we have the next die, it's interesting because he actually starts with 2 charges, and he's got 5 health and 2 attack. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're just going to quickly do recovery phase. So remember, we can all trade loot or do parties, and I think this guy is 5 health, this guy 4, so everyone's got full health, which means I think I'm going to get him to do he's going to trade this to Nugget, now that Nugget has the you know, all the defense dice here. And he's also going to choose to do a scout. So we'll just roll the black die. We get a 2, which is a level 1 scout. Looks like we've already got a bunch of these revealed. This guy here is going to also do a scout. Oh, he gets a 3. That is another level 1. Oops, I've forgotten what order I put this in. I think it was... And this dude here, she is also going to do a scout. Finally, we get a level 5 reveal. Nice. An owlbear. Now, this guy is... Oh, it's a griffin. So what we're trying to find... This is a griffin here. That's another owlbear. We're trying to get this dude here to kill a griffin so it can go onto the hunter's body count necklace. And finally, this dude here, I think he's actually going to use... I haven't done this action before, so hopefully I'll do this correctly. But it is... Search for better loot. Discard 1 loot, roll 6 attack die. For each bone you roll, reveal a loot card. You may keep 1. So we roll 6 attack die, and we're looking for bones this time. And we don't get a single bone, but the discard still occurs. And that is the end of that round, I believe. Did I move the tracker? I'll just redo this stack. So it's like this. Bam. What I might start doing is, let's make a new stack behind it. So I can just pick it up, go 1, 2, 3, 4, drop it here while I reveal the next one. And I can just drop them back. Much easier. So I think I'll go straight into turn 6. And I'll see you guys next time.